Hello, welcome back to the channel. I know we said we was going to do an update last week, but unfortunately I was off with COVID and I've only just got back to work today after feeling pretty rough last week. So the guys have been cracking on with plenty of work. We've got a few other cars turned up here, so as ever, let's have a walk round and I'll show you what's been going on and what's going on at the moment. So we're just going to go through the mixing room into the oven. So we've got this Escort MK2 Rs200. I think it's a one owner car from new. So the roof had quite a lot of rusty scabs and like paint spiders on it. So we stripped the whole thing back to bare metal. Coated it in our Novel for Classic Car anti-corrosive epoxy primer. This all got prepped. We done some filler work, and yeah, this is in its last high build primer at the moment. Still the same Novel for Classic Cars epoxy primer, but for each stage it just takes a different activator. On the bare metal we just put 2 coats of the anti-corrosive version. And then if we need to do any isolating, if we have any breakthroughs to bare metal or anything, then we'll apply the isolator primer. So again, same primer, different hardener. And this version, as you can see here, this is the final high build. So yeah, it's basically a 4-to-1 mix, but an epoxy based. So very anti-corrosive, resistant, and very water resistant as well. So many years ago the customer was telling us that someone swapped the scuttle grill out on this, so it had gone very rusty. So we've taken that off. He's bought a new one, so we'll get this all painted really nice. We paint the scuttle as well, and then we actually bond this back on. You know, it just lasts a lot longer. It saves burning through all the layers of paint and primers and things. So that's where we're at now. We've actually took the pinstripe off this car. You can't really see it in here because over the years it had all cracked up and split and gone really brittle. So we've taken that off. We're going to give the whole car a 3-stage polish and ceramic coat it when it's done. The paint on the rest of the car is quite good, even though it's got a few issues. The customer wanted to do what I'd call a bit of a sympathetic restoration. You know, it's one of those cars is you could end up painting the whole car, but to be honest, it's far too good for that. So yeah, that's where we're hoping to get that painted tomorrow, possibly. So we'll take you through the stages of that and see some paint going on that. Right, so let's just pop outside at the moment. So there's the Audi, the Quattro that you may have remembered seeing in the last video. So this has progressed a bit. So we've got all the panels off, the doors off, started stripping them. It has grown quite a bit as a job. Like I say, there's quite a bit of rust going on in the front here. Pretty much everywhere you look, there's a fair bit of rust. All around that scuttle area. We've had to take the glass out, and there's quite a few holes around these apertures. You know, there's a whole panel missing here. As you can see, look, we'll give you a good look round. This panel here is completely rusted away. Same on the other side, this panel here. So yeah, there's plenty going on with this as well. We started stripping some of the paint off, so this has just come off with some chemicals and the last final bit mechanically. Let's show you this round here. So there's a nice big hole here. This is where the boot hinge is, so that's going to need a fair bit of work as well in it. But nice clean metal where it hasn't gone rusty. So that's sort of, you know, we'll get all the rest of the paint stripped off of it. We're probably going to put this into bodywork primer because obviously for all the welding to be done, it's going to be here for some time. Right, so this is another interesting, this McLaren. It's a 570S, pretty special car, being worked on by a very special person.
Oh, I'm special.
There he is. Calm down, can make your annual appearance.
Evening.
Right, so believe it or not, these panels obviously aluminium, but this had corroded everywhere, so it was all bubbled up and blistered all around these arches. So we stripped that all back, and that's ready to go into our classic car anti-corrosive epoxy. It's great with epoxy obviously because you can go direct to aluminium. Believe it or not, there was a big dent in the roof here that we're a bit bemused at, because this is a really special kind of glass fibre. We had a little bit of a problem with the colour with this, because McLaren will give you no details on paint colour or paint codes or anything. So we've gone for our normal stages of spectro in the colour with our spectrophotometer. Can't find any colour for it. So actually the customers managed to get some from McLaren. We've done a spray out of it, and it's actually a perfect edge-to-edge match, so that's really going to help us. You know, this car's been here about a week, and we didn't want to actually touch it until we was assured that we had the perfect colour for it. Duncan used to work for McLaren, unfortunately, when he was a lot younger. And you know, like he says, they've got it all sewn up as far as their bodywork goes. But yeah, we've done a spray, colour spot on, so now we're just cracking on with it. Audi's still waiting for its roof and bits of carbon fibre, so ongoing. We just painted this bumper. It's off of a Ferrari, oh, forgive me, I can't remember the numbers, but a race car. I don't think it is actually. I'm not sure, but yeah, anyway. So here's one of the doors off of the Quattro that's outside. So all stripped back to bare metal, but again, a reasonable bit of rust all along the bottom of there that we need to deal with. So yeah, we're just getting them all back to bare metal. We'll put them in our Novel for classic car anti-corrosive bodywork primer while we deal with all the rust on that. So a quick look round the Bedford. We've actually got it on our rollover jig now, as you can see. Inside is coming along, all the rear inner tubs. When you look at these rear inner tubs, we're not quite sure about this vehicle, but it had big glass fibre covers that cover all these tubs, so that's what the customer wanted it back, so it looked like that. So these are pretty much finished apart from the grind up and finishing off, and then the tubs cover that up. So we've done a fair bit along here. All this been replaced, and all the inner piece of it. We've replaced all this panel through here where it was all rusted out on this seam, made up this wheel arch section. So that's all, you know, that's all coming along quite nicely. Same this, I've had to rebuild all these corners up in here. So, like I always say about this, it is getting there, slowly but surely. So I'll just show you in here. That's a new windscreen for the RS200. That's the sunroof panel that's all been stripped back to bare metal today. So that's the bonnet from it, which is decent. They're the front wings from that, the red Audi outside. What else we got going on in here? So there's all the bumpers from it here. And this is the bonnet from the Escort. I'll show you what I mean about the paint. You know, the paint's reasonably nice. We've actually polished this, or started our 3-stage polish process. But as you can see, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but there's quite a few rust scabs going on. But the customer, you know, like I said before, where do you stop on a job like this? You know, we could strip the whole thing back to bare metal and give the car a full repaint, but the customers just don't want to do that. So we're going to, you know, work with what we've got, make it look its best, ceramic coat over it. So, can I just squeeze through there, please, mate? Yeah, so we'll just, you know, make the best of what we've got. I'm sure it's going to look absolutely fine. So we just add this little mini turn up that pulls just, we'll take the front wheel off, I believe.
Sitting on there.
Okay. Yeah, it's got some rust issues. I think someone's jacked it up under here and made a bit of a mess of it. And I think this seal's a bit crusty as well. You can see it falling out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the way.
Yeah. So that's all the way along this side. So looks like we're going to be getting into that. But lovely little car. It's quite a special little thing, this. Let me show you under here. You'll be quite shocked at this. So yes, supercharged, distributorless ignition. I should imagine that's quite a little weapon, and it looks like it's had a lot of development to get that all in there and working properly. But obviously without an MOT, because the floor's rusty, it's going nowhere. So that's one of our next jobs. Yeah, I think that sums up about what's going on at the moment. Right, so we're going to do a quick comparison of our dust extracted block. So on this side you can see how much dust that we just didn't generate because we had our Hoover attached. So we're going to block this side out without the Hoover, so you can just actually see the amazing difference that this makes. Also what you find is how it clogs the paper when it hasn't got its dust extraction connected. So guys, you can see from that, you know, that's only half of this side of the roof, and you can see how much dust we've made blocking it out without the extraction. So I'm going to plug the Hoover in now and just continue. And you can see how it clogs the paper on this 320 Abernet. So obviously the paper wears out a lot quicker as well. Right, so we've got this roof all blocked out with 320 now. So next stage, we're going to put a rub-on guide coat on this. I do find that the aerosol type satin black guide coats just clog up your abrasives really quickly. So we're using some of this. This is a rub-on powder, and you can seem to really get this into any scratches. So with this next stage, when we're going to run a DA over it of a 400 disc, we're just really refining that surface and trying to start getting the 320 scratches out of it. So DA is not going to affect the shape of this at all. Like I say, just refining it down and getting the scratches out. So we're going to put this guide coat on and then give it a buzz out with a 400 DA with a soft interface pad. This sort of like goes to the contours of the roof. We'll stay away from all these edges because we'll refine them last by hand. So I don't know if you can see this on the camera right here, but you see all these lines, they're scratches that have been created from the 320 dry block, and that's what we need to try and get out, all those scratches. We're going to give it a wet flat now with some 600 wet and dry, just with some water. I don't mind the dry process, but I seem to find that the dry paper gets clogged up with the dust from the primer, and then this can actually scratch the surface. So when you're using wet and dry with some water, this sort of lubricates the paper and keeps the paper from clogging up. So we've just got a pump spray now. We don't like to use a bucket because buckets can get contaminated with grit and stuff, and that can scratch your surface as well. So using a pump spray, we've just got a little bit of fairy liquid in here and some water. So yeah, let's go through the stages. That's all we're doing, really gently. Literally, I'm putting next to no pressure on here. Just making sure there's nothing going on. This is just a bit more of a controlled manner of refining the surface. You can actually visually see what's going on as you flatten it. With a DA, it's a little bit more difficult to do that. So we'll just keep a cloth at hand, and every now and again we'll give it a wipe down just to keep it clean and tidy. And you can see the progress obviously from the side coat, and if there are any scratches, these will show up in the side coat. Like I say, we've got a cloth, we'll just keep it clean like this. To be honest, I might run over this a couple of times. No pressure, just keep your hand really flat. You're not putting any grooves in it from your fingertips or anything. This is where we'll refine all our radiuses on our lines, just to make them look nice. You don't want them too sharp, they need to be slightly muted with a radius to them, just look more factory like that. Right guys, so we've got the RS2000 in the oven. You saw us prepping it up yesterday, so it's all ready to paint now. So there you go, all masked up. There's a scuttle grille that we're going to paint and then bond on after. So we're going to be painting this in 2K direct gloss. We'll just blend this colour down into the original paint. 2 coats of that, and we'll let it flash off for about 45 minutes just with the booth running at about 21-22 degrees. Then we'll come in and give it 2 coats of our Novel Spectral 525 clear coat. We'll bake that for about half an hour. So yeah, that should be all done ready for tomorrow, just to give it a denib and a polish. We've got to polish the whole car and then ceramic coat it. Like we showed you the bonnet, it's got a few defects, but yeah, it will look lovely, I'm sure. So we're going to go into the mixing room, we'll mix some colour, and we'll be back with you in a minute. I'm sorry about the dodgy filming, but I'm actually holding the camera in my left hand while I'm painting. So please forgive me if it's a little bit dodgy here and there, but that's the first coat on, looking nice. We're going to give it 20 minutes to flash off, come in, put another one on.
Going
Right, morning. So you see the Escort painted and finished. I'm just going to show you a bit of our polishing process and explain to you, you know, how I do it. And this is just, you know, everyone's polishing process a bit different. Been doing it this way for 20 years and it just works for me. So let's have a quick look round. So what we've done, like places like here, you can see where there was a couple of dust nibs there. We've gone with some 1500 on a block. If you have a look here, look, I don't know if you can see that, but there's a silicone there, just there. So we'll touch that in with a bit of our clear coat, and that'll just bond to the old clear coat. We'll give it a little scotch in there where it's still a little bit shiny, if you can see that. Then we'll block that out, polish it, that'll be gone. Because the paint's still relatively fresh, that'll just, you know, melt into that, no problem. The thing is with a job like this as well, we don't want to take too much texture out, because these cars, you know, have got a little bit of a textured finish from the factory anyway. So yeah, so that's where we are with that. So that basically has had a little bit of 1500 on a small block to take the nibs and bits out, and then I just flat by hand with 2000. That's all we do, like this, and we just flat it by hand without a block for the 2000. I don't like Trizacs, never used them, don't think I ever will. I just don't like the fact of a DA, you know, spinning around on my paint, especially if you get any sort of contamination under it. You'll just end up with loads of pigtails and scratches all in it, so I try and avoid that. Normally, if you know you've got a little bit of grit under your block when you're flatting, you'll hear it, that'll be the first sign. And obviously if you've got a DA buzzing about, you're never going to know that's under there. But it come out really nice. I was saying to you about trying to paint behind the scuttle panel. So in here you can have a look, I don't know if you can see down in there, but you can see how nice it looks under there. Let me just lift that off. So that'll look lovely when that bond is back on. Normally these Escorts over the years get painted, you can't get in there to do anything with it, and when you look through these grills it just looks, you know, horrible in there. So that's how we like to do them. So when you look in the grill it looks all lovely. So basically when we've finished flatting it, we'll clean it all down and then we'll polish it with our Freckler G360. I don't even really like the woolen head, to be honest. Just a normal yellow head cuts fine. So we'll cut that, get all the scratches out of it, and then we'll finish it off with a dual action polisher, just to refine it, get all the holograms and swirls out of it. Like I say, we're going to be mopping this whole car, fresh pinstripe on it and ceramic coating. So we'll take you right through all those stages, but this is where we are for the minute. Right, so there's the Escort. It's had its final clean, dual action polisher, polished all the roof and the rest of the car. We actually lost the footage of this because, as you know, GoPros can be a little bit temperamental. But yeah, so there it is, looking nice and bright. We're waiting to put the pinstripe on it Monday morning and then get the ceramic coating on it. but it's yeah, we're really pleased with how it's come out. It looks really tidy now, and just such an original, nice car. There you go. Right guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. It's free to do so, and we'll see you very soon in the next one.